Becca. Hi, Becca. Yay, Becca. We love Becca.
The question is, why is it important to write a great library about the evolutionary self?
Oh, God.
How will this spread the Dharma better than each of us living the Dharma audaciously?
That's it, right, Becca, that's a great question. So each of us living the Dharma audaciously will mystically affect the source code, but will not, right? And where's Ivan? Let's get practical, right? Right? So tell him that we mentioned him. I don't know if Steph's, I think I can vaguely see, there she is, right? Okay. It's a little hazy here, right? Right? But actually, right, the old notion was that we should actually, we live the Dharma, as it were, and we affect the source code, and that's true. That's absolutely, Becca, that's beautiful and true. But actually, we also live in a culture that's actually facing directly catastrophic and existential risk. We have to change the source code of the culture. That's what Da Vinci was doing. Right? And if Da Vinci would have said, well, I've got this sense of modernity, and I've got this new vision, I'm not going to write, I'm not going to get together with my 1,000 friends in the Renaissance and actually try and evolve the source code, I'll live it myself. But I won't actually articulate the new story. And as Da Vinci did, grounded in art and in science and in music and in interior science and exterior science, we would have had no modernity, right? And so we actually need to engage. And the reason I think a great library is important is I don't think any one book is going to do it. And I know that's a few of us have talked about this question. You know, one book that kind of, wow, that was a great book. It's not going to do it. We have to make the Da Vinci move where we actually can distinguish signal from noise. There's so much noise out there, friends. There's so much noise. And every book is kind of a strategic move in the rivalrous conflict governed by win-lose metrics. And the book is moved, and it's right, and you do shows, and you do, right, and then, right, it's a whole, that's how a book works. A book is actually another win-lose metrics game, even if it's a great book. And then a book's there, and then it disappears. It's gone. Even if it sells 1 million copies, it's gone. We actually have to actually impact culture, and we actually generate an entirely new vision, which is kind of like a great library of Alexandria. That's what they did in Alexandria. That's what they did in the Renaissance. Now, I wish that wasn't necessary, because it's not an easy thing to do. You know, there's no fast road to that. You can't pretend like, oh, we did a great library. You can't fake it, right? It's not a fake it till you make it thing. It doesn't work. So it's hard to write a great library. And a great library, again, as we said this morning, can't be just books. It's got to be books and videos and rock operas, and right? But we have to actually engage economics and engage sociology and engage anthropology and engage medicine, right? And engage, right? And we have to engage all of the fields, which means that no one person can do it, right? A great library can be written by a Unique Self Symphony, right? So Da Vinci couldn't do it, and Facinio couldn't do it, right? There was a Renaissance. We've got to do it together, and we need Homo more in business, and we need Homo more in politics, and we need, right? And we need a whole, right, vision of what's possible, right? Because it's the only way we can actually change the source code. And we need movies. We need movies, right? We need the whole thing. And we need albums. And by the way, Susie, did you guys meet Susie, who was here? She just left. So Susie, right, Schumann remembers we made an album right before 2006, where my life took a turn. Susie and I made a kind of rock album, which Susie has I don't know who's heard Susie sing. She has this insanely stunning, gorgeous voice, right? She's, you know, a princess from Turkey, right? And so we made this really, really beautiful album, and the album worked because I didn't sing on it, obviously, right? Right, just to be clear, right? I just chatted. And Susie came in just to get her grace. She said, you know, I just sold a property, right? And I've been coming to the board meeting for the last 3-4 years, and I want to actually step up. And she said, okay, so let's make an album, right? Whatever we need to make that album, let's get the best news. Let's make an album, right? Literally a day ago, like right before she left. I haven't even had time to process it. She said, let's make an album, and you know, and actually create kind of the music of Homo Amor, if you will. So we're going to make a first album. We haven't even begun to talk about it, but Susie just stepped up, and I didn't ask her to do it, right? She just said, "Oh, I've been waiting till I could do this," and she just stepped in. So we actually want to make an album, right? Shimon, you got a little free time, right? Right, Christy, you guys a hoe, right? So let's make an album, right? Let's actually make some music. Let's make some Homo Amor music. But that's just the beginning. Right? We really need a Homo Amor rock opera for real, but not for pretend. Who remembers, by the way, right? Tommy. Who remembers Tommy? Remember Tommy? Right? I remember Tommy, right? Do you remember that, James? Like, oh, Tommy was like unbelievable, right? David Bowie. Right, Tommy. So we need Tommy.